G'day and welcome back to Down the Shed with Byron with our $500 VT Commodore. Now, during the school holidays and the wet weather we've had lately, I've had to do little bits and pieces when I can. It's just been bucketing down here. And to keep the project going forward, I've just been robbing parts off my mate James's old Statesman. I've been stripping the tyres, so I stripped all the tyres off, fitted all the AU tyres, I painted all the rims up. And I just had them balanced yesterday, so we got that done. I pulled the front strut assembly apart from the Statesman and got another steering boot. So just to tick away on that shopping list that we got in the last video. Now, if you have seen a couple of those short videos I made on the VT Commodore, where we've got water getting into the cab, I think we may have found the problem, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure. I've sourced another radiator for it that we can throw into it as well, and we can pull the other one apart and see, actually physically see if the oil cooler has split and is putting that transmission fluid straight into the radiator. And then we'll pull the thermostat out and we'll give the cooling system a bit of a flush. Now, I did record some of the hyperlapsings of what I was doing in those little breaks. So sit back, chill for a minute, and I'll get some other bits and pieces sorted out. Can you see anything? Surely there's some water coming in there somehow. Is it wet on the driver's side? Still nothing? You reckon about there? Oh yeah, that's pissing in, isn't it? Righto. Have a look up here, see if you can see up in there. See if we can see anything. Where's that coming in? So it's underneath that plastic cover, under the wiper blades there. I think we found the leak. It's under this cover here somewhere, so we'll pull that apart and have a gander as well. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, running.
Well, I've just got that plastic cover out of the way, and some of these little plugs are so annoying. But check out the leaf foliage that's just blocking up all the drains. So what I'm thinking is it's filling up with water and somehow either coming back in through, what do you call it, like the cab air intake somehow, and filling it up with water. Oh man, we have to start off by cleaning that out anyway. It's not too much flasher on this side either. Oh yeah, there's a drain hole, so that goes down the side. So if that drain hole on that side there is blocked, it's partially blocked. Well, I think we'll start off by giving that a clean out and see what happens from there. And there we have it. It's all cleaned out. Got the drains unblocked. But I have a sneaky feeling something in here just isn't right, but we'll have to test that later. I've cleaned all the driver's side as well. That's all good and tidy, but trying to dry it out in this cold weather has been a pain. So I just got the Gatorade bottle under there, just squeezing that foam out, just trying to drain it. I need to get like some sort of heat lamp in here or something, but trying to have a look up in here, it's not running down now, but it's damp. But I don't know if that's because when I come back to it, it's all the moisture that's come off the carpet and just run down into here and the condensation that's gone up. But that's another test that we can do a bit later. So I might set the tripod up in there with the light and get you guys to see if you can see anything. Now, back around to the back. As I was cleaning out the back here, found we've got a loose screw. but I've just gone through my screw box and we should be able to resolve that pretty easily. Brake pads look okay. I might just pop those calipers off, pull the pads out and lubricate the slides up, and then slap that back together. To the front, I've prepared the front strut to be pulled out. So I've cracked all the bolts off, they're all loose, sway bar links loose. I've marked the tie rod end, ready to remove that. Just cracked that nut, so that's ready to go. We'll do that as well. I'm trying to think of what I do first up. Might just jump on that rear section. Oh, hold up. The tyres, they're all fitted and balanced. And I was having a laugh with my mate Russell from Piranha Motorsports about when you fit tyres, putting the yellow dot to the valve. Check this out, it's been balanced. Perfect. I couldn't find the yellow dots on those ones, but you get that. So we've got pretty much 4 brand new tyres to put on. Oh, what do you reckon of my paint job? Beautiful stockies, eh? Ready for skids. So a massive shout out to Tyre Power and Kelmscott. 30 thumbs up. Thanks for doing a quick balance on those for me to get them ready. And another shout out to my members, because as you can see, we need a couple of tail lights, a boot garnish, and another tail light. Now I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, found a wreck, and I was able to buy a couple of tail lights for it. So the members, you basically helped me get those, and a new boot garnish, and we've got a set of hubcaps. Yeah, boy. Another massive shout out to Dave from Bad Q. Thanks, mate, helping me out with those. Legend, 30 thumbs up. So we've got those that we can fit as well. I don't know if it's one of those things where we pull the tail light out, we'll try and buff all that out, clean that up while we're there. I think we'll just start with that rear section and move forward, eh? What do you think? Now this is just a bit of a plastic dust cover that's just pulled through the screw hole. So if we pull that screw out, and I've gone through my scrap, we can make that panel washer screw work. It's just a little quick, easy one to get off the board. Alright, that's that done. Simple. Now I'll jump onto these rear brakes, just lube them up. Oh, so what we're doing here is I'm just making sure that these slides are nice and smooth. Well, that one feels alright, which won't hurt to give that a clean up. Pad, yeah, plenty of material on that. Might do the old figure 8 on the concrete and she'll be alright. Give that a clean out, some brake clean. Bottom slide moves nicely. I'll bring you in and show you what I'm talking about. So what I wanted to make sure is just make sure these slides are moving in and out nice and freely. We'll give these brake surfaces where they sit just a bit of a lube. And what I use for that is just a bit of ceramic base bloody brake lube. And that's good enough. Got a bit of movement there, that probably need a shim, but this is where your brakes get that squeak from because they move back and forth. If there's a warpage, disc looks alright. Once we hit the brakes a few times, I'll get that sorted. Brakes all back together, they're tight. If you're interested in doing rear brakes, I have got a video I've done on rear brakes on a Commodore that might help you out. But yeah, clean this hub face surface up, and we'll put a bit of copper grease on these wheel studs and around this, and I'll put those new second-hand tyres on. With the tyre all refitted, and I've got the hubcap back on. It doesn't look too bad. All right, let's move on to the front. But I was thinking about it while I was doing that job. I really should be pulling that radiator out first and making sure we've got a good cooling system and etc. before I tackle any other job, shouldn't I? Nah, it doesn't matter. We're already halfway into it. Let's get into this front end now. So I've pretty much got this front end just all cracked off, brake lines off. Looks like someone struggled last time. There's no ABS on this car. It's all pretty much stripped, and I forgot to mention before, I want to do a brake fluid flush on this thing, but I'll do that when I've got the big fella down the shed giving us a hand. But I've got this front assembly ready to go. We might just do it together. Just if you've got steering boots you need to do on your commie, well, it's pretty easy-ish. Now you may see this clip here, I've already undone it. It's like a, if you've ever done your retic gardening, it's one of those type of ratcheting sort of clips that holds that outer boot in place. So I already had that undone. Split pin removal, we'll just bend that back over and then you try and knock it back. This one looks like it's been through the wars. I just get the side cutters and just roll it out, or you can pull it out like so. 19mm spanner, just onto the tie rod castle nut. Try and undo that. Now obviously I've lubed these all up with some CRC. Now I don't take the nut all the way off, and you can get like a ball joint removing tool in there, but I like to use a hammer. And with a couple of decent hits straight on there, normally pops straight off. There you go, undone. The next stage is to crack that retaining nut. Now leave this just assembled for now. I already pre-cracked it just so it made it easier for the video. Wind that back and you see I've marked the actual steering arm and the tie rod end. So we should be able to pull that apart now. Alright, so we'll count the turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's starting to feel like it's about to come off. 8, half, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we reckon 14 and a half. So if we go to put it back on, we start there, bring it back up and start from there. So then that would be 1. Okay, so 14 and a half. Now let's pull that nut off. Now on the inside here, see a cable tie? That's just holding the boot onto the steering rack. We'll just cut that off. Alright, with that cut off now, we should be able to pull that boot off. And then that should just slide down. There we go. The next thing you could check is these inner, what are they called? Steering knuckles, and making sure that that's firmish. If that's flopping around, like flopping around, then it's worth replacing these inner rack ends, I think they're called. I can find out and I'll put that down the bottom of the screen. But now I'll just give that a quick wipe up, put some grease on the gear there. I'll show you that. So just in there, I've just put just a thin smear of grease across the gears where the steering pinion comes down into, just for engagement, but you don't need to. We'll put the other boot on now. So as we put the boot back on, you'll see there's a little notch just here, and that's where that section of the boot lives. So we'll just slide that back on. And that can live there. Bring that up, and to make it easier we can steer the wheel back the other way to put that boot on, or just stretch it on. What I'll do for now is we'll just pull it all the way up and locate it, and then we'll put a new cable tie around that, and that should be right. With the boot all back on now, I've cable tied it on, I've thrown the nut back on, bit of copper anti-seize here. I've put a bit down the end as well of the tie rod end. Now this is nice and firm, which is what you want. Now we want 14 and a half turns. So let's go back there, that's about half-ish. And hopefully it picks up. And there's our half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14. All right, we should be right there. Obviously, you do need to go and get a wheel alignment after, but for now, this will be okay. Bring that back down. Ooh, wearing a yellow mark off. We'll be able to put that back together. Pull that around. Alright. The castle nut back on. Taking note where that split pin hole goes, or where it is. So when you're putting the new split pin back through it, it's easy enough to line up. Alright. Let's tighten that up and then pull the strut apart. And like I was saying, got this all ready to go, so we'll just pop these all off and pop that sway bar link off and pull the strut out. Alrighty then. Hold the strut. Strut's out. Maybe, almost. Maybe with the power of YouTube, I could have it. Ta-da! Where'd that washer come from then? What have they done there? Okay, that's done up. Where's that long top of there? Let's undo that. On the right way. Let's have a look here. Pry bar. Oh, might get it. Strut top. We probably should replace that. What's the bearings like? You do them together, don't you? Undo that. The boot should pull off. Ta-da! Strut should come apart. Is that water? Is that oil? What do you reckon? New strut? Have I started another can of worms? Oh, I should have just put that strut in. So I've got this strut here, which is the one that originally came out of Safety Grandpa's VX Calais. And we end up putting the Petters suspension into that. Hello? Nope. Okay. That technically should be fighting us. Now we need 2 new struts. What have I started? So I just had one of those moments where I was like, do I continue the strut job? That means I got to run down and get parts. Or do I continue and we pull the radiator out? I've already pulled these plugs. Oh no, I didn't. Yes, I did. Pull these plugs out. What would you do? Would you put new struts in for a car that's probably not worth it, but could be worth it? I think I've just rang up Petters and spoke to me mate there, Nathan. He's going to hook me up with a bit of a deal so I can get 2 front struts, the strut top, strut bearing, so we can reassemble it all so it's back to brand new on the front end. I think, well, I don't even know why I'm double guessing, but that's what we're going to do. But I think for now, for the next half an hour or so, I'll put another half an hour of power in and we'll at least get the cooling system drained and we'll get this radiator out and we'll have a look at those coolers. All right, so pulled the shrouds off. Let's pull the cooling fans off now. I need a 10mm for that. And we need to pull the power steering pump. Oh no, we don't, or do we? Do we have to pull that reservoir off? Or is it easier? Probably be easier, won't it? Take that off. Oh boy, take a look at this. I'll bring you in for a zoom in shortly. Even the thermostat housings, I don't know, you guys can put in the comments what it looks like shortly, but I'll go put this on the bench and we'll pull this, it's only got the one transmission cooler on the one side, so we'll just pull that apart and we'll have a look. Have a look at that. Oh boy. Have a look in the radiator. Look at the slough in there. Actually, I'll get a container and we'll tip it out. Alrighto, here we go. Out the bottom hose. Oh, rubber. Oh. Strawberry milk. Yummy. So even out the trans cooler, we got that. So I'm thinking we're definitely going to have to pull that transmission pan off before we go too much further with it as well. Drain that and go from there. Alright, let's pull this side tank off. I'm starting to think that that white Commodore there, engine swap would have been easier. I've been waiting to hear back from the high school though to see if the boys want to come over and change an engine out with us. Something for their schooling that they could do. I think a couple of year 10 kids, that'd be great for them. We'll run it up, and if you haven't heard that engine, I don't know what video it's in, but I started up. It's got a bottom end, big end knock, but I reckon that'd be good for a couple of school kids. They can hear it knocking, and then we can pull the engine out. We can do like a bit of a diagnostics as well. We could do an engine oil sample. We could do, what do you call it, cut the filter open, see what's going on inside, etc, etc, and then they can pull the engine apart and see what's wrong, and then see what it would take to actually fix that engine. Like, could we just send the crank off to get machined, etc. So that's what I'm waiting for on that one, but I still think it would have been quicker than this one. All right, let's get this tank off. That should pop out. So if you've never pulled one of these radiators apart before, you've got the plastic tanks on each end, the aluminium core in the center, and there's an O-ring. And that bloody O-ring there can let go just in there and you'll have a coolant leak. It's unlikely that they fail, but they do. There we go. All right, I'll bring you in closer. All right, let's fold that back so we can see. All right, that's off. Not that I can see where the cooler's physically leaking from, unless we put like a cap on this end and pressurize it, we'll be able to see there's a hole in it somewhere. It's not looking the flashiest, is it? And I'll bring you back around this other way and we'll have a look inside the cores. Oh yeah, boy. You can see why your radiator blocks up. Now this is on the bottom radiator hose side. So that's all the junk in there. Obviously I damaged that core there. But I should take the tank off the other side and we'll have a look on that as well. Okay, I've got this tank ready to take off. And I was just trying to get it off so I could set the camera up again, but I want you to have a look at that. Oh boy, yummy. So this is the top of the radiator hose going into the cooler, into the radiator. So all that there wasn't flowing through the radiator to go out the other end. Oh yuck. What I'm trying to show you is all that sludge in the bottom there. Oh yuck, that's all falling out. And again, if you don't change your coolant regularly, you'll find that will be all blocked up with a heap of other stuff. I've done this ages ago with my mate Robbie's VY Commodore. Oh look at it, they're all blocked. So even if we just threw water in it and thought it was all good. So blocked, blocked. What the hell's that? It's like silicon. Well, that radiator was definitely due to go to scrap. Alrighty then. Well, there's a bit of an inside of the top radiator hose side and then the bottom radiator hose side. Cool, eh? I think I'll just do a quick rundown and get those front struts so I can put the car back on the ground, and at least I can chip away at that other side. But we're going to need, basically, I think we're going to need a full cooling system. I'll pull that thermostat apart. I'll leave the water pump for now. I'll pull that heater tap section off. We'll rob that off of that Stato. The radiator I've got out of that Statesman has got the twin coolers. So what I might try and do is just take that link hose or link pipe off. I'm pretty sure that's just one tank there. We should get away with using that just to flush the system initially. So we'll put some water in it and some flushing agent and a few little secrets that I've got. And that'll just get the cooling system clean, and then we'll buy a new radiator for it as well. I'll buy a new water pump, then an extra armour, which a lot of people have said is heater core. Oh, fingers crossed, please. That's not bloody stuffed either, but that's going to be partially blocked as well with half that gunk that's there. So hopefully we can back flush that with another tool I've got, which I'll show you. But it'll be easier once I've got it on the ground and I can put it near the hose a bit better. So yeah, I'll run down now and go get those parts, and we'll get back into it shortly. Back now, and the struts that we took out haven't even moved. My new strut that I'd like to thank buddy Nathan, cheers bro, for sourcing those and making it happen straight away. Check that out. I've just taken the retaining strap off of it, and she's straight up, boy. All right, ready, set, go. There we go. That's what it's meant to do. Anyway, and then the top strut mounts, as you can see, the new one on the right, second handy on the left. It's not bad. I've seen them worse where they've actually collapsed right inside. But now we've got new strut tops, new bearings, we're good to go. Let's get this strut reassembled and back on all, well, we'll get it back on its wheels on this side at least, and then we've got to kick off on that other side. Oh, righty then. What do you reckon? Looking flash from where you're sitting? Good from far, but far from good. I think the, what do you call it? The Boilermaker's blind dog, but he loves the look of this. Anyway, we're getting there. We are getting there. Hold on, one more thing. Cheers and dirty thumbs up. What a day / couple of weeks it's been. But I've only chipped away at a few bits and pieces. We've got this right hand side pretty much sorted-ish. The radiator, we'll sort that out the next time, I reckon. I'll start flushing that later. I'll get onto that left hand side, the passenger side, and sort out the brakes, front strut on that side, strut top, etc. on that side. Put the standard wheels back on that side as well, and then we'll move on to, yeah, flushing the cooling system. But we've gotten through a fair bit of that list. Give us 2 seconds, I'll just grab it. I've been ticking it off as we've been going, and I had my little helper down the shed before, and she she topped up the washer bottle for us, but I still didn't check it. Anyway, it's gotta work. Sweetheart did it. We've gotten through, we've got tyres, so we've got new tyres now, they're being balanced. We've got tail lights, got them sorted, but they're not fitted yet. Right hand strut, which ended up snowballing and being a strut and strut top, but at the end of the day, if we do get this back on the road, at least we know that that's done. I've gone through the brakes. The brakes on the front are still okay. Like, yeah, if I get picked for that, well, they're just trying to look for things, I think. So struts done, steering rack boots done. The next lot of things we've got to go through. There's a couple of things like we've got to sort out the key, the radiator, give it a service. So there's a few bits and pieces there that shouldn't take too long to get through. But I've added to the shopping list as well. So it's just that thing with cheap cars, isn't it? And a massive shout out to my mate Justin. He basically hooked us up with that front suspension. What a legend. Dirty thumbs up, mate. So the car, and again, this car, I'm trying to keep it as free as possible. Trying to use second-hand parts, trying to use leftover stuff. Unfortunately, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and put new stuff in. What else is there? And again, there's a few little knickknacks, like I realise that mud flap there is broken. We're missing the side trim from here. The other ones are half coming off. Do I pull them off and just delete them or re-adhesive them back on? Yeah, I'll give a shout out to anyone that's over in Adelaide that can go to You Pull It and source me a couple of bits and pieces. Hey? Alright guys, well, dirty thumbs up. Take it easy, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you, and enjoy working on your project.